2. This time on the keeper. Straight ahead is Vita. Down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Pick up of 3. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5.
Good job by that defensive front at St. Francis, staying home. Of course, it's tough for big guys to get to the perimeter, so they usually do stay home.
It's easier that way, right?
It is, especially when you're 265 or 300 pounds or 295. I'd be staying home a lot myself.
Those guys on the move trying to get off the field before this 3rd down snap. Man in motion is Xavier Coleman. Haven't heard from him yet today. He's an all-state receiver, and as I say that, the quick wide receiver screen to him, he gets pulled down short of the sticks. Pickup of 2 on the play. It'll be 4th down in this middle situation. That's the last play of the first quarter. Providence Catholic, after 1, leading St. Francis 7.
Every day, our lives are rooted in the farm, and making that connection is easier than you think.
Join WCIA3's Jacob Dickey for Ag in the Classroom, where we dive into the essential links between agriculture and our day-to-day life.
And did you know that the lemons come from an evergreen tree?
It's a great day to learn about agriculture in Central Illinois, so join me for Ag in the Classroom.
Ag in the Classroom, sponsored by First Trust and Savings Bank, Monday mornings on WCIA3.
Oh my God!
She's the teacher who stays up late to help one more student. The neighbor who creates a big change from just a small idea. Every day, remarkable women lead, inspire, and change lives in our community. We want your help to recognize her impact. Visit WCIA.com or scan the QR code to nominate a woman in your life who is truly remarkable.
SEFCU celebrates remarkable women.
No sé qué pasó. I didn't even drink that much.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Make moves, set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things. This is pre-tirement.
Later with 0% interest for 72 months. Don't miss the final week of Ashley's Black Friday mattress event.
Let's flash it back to 2008. St. Francis powering their way into the end zone over and over again. Metamora tried to hang with the Spartans, but ultimately it was a 49-35 St. Francis win. That was their first state championship in football, trying to get their second today, but not known as a football school, but they're trying to change all of that.
Well, they really are, and the guy that actually started it with that first state championship was a guy named Greg Purnell, who did a great job when he came in and over from Indiana, got the program really rolling, and since then, they've kind of been on a pretty good roll, and of course, Bob McMillan right here has done a great job in the last 9 years. The last 3 years, they've lost in the semifinals, so they finally have gotten here, and Bob's done a great job at St. Francis. He was one heck of a football player and a fullback in his heyday.
And now it looks like it's going to be a false start penalty here on a big 4th and 2 from the 37.
What a bunch of tattletales on St. Francis.
Yeah,
you see them all jumping and pointing. My goodness.
Dead ball. False start.
That's
number 72 on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
I believe the modern term is snitches.
I don't know any modern
Say snitches
term.
get stitches, and, you know, we're on the football field, so that's all well and good. But, yes, Providence Catholic with a big no-no here on 4th and 2.
Look at that. My goodness. Jumping around.
You know what? It was a team effort, though.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So celebrating team here as it all culminates on a not snowy day, but the snow is still definitely out here, and the chill is definitely still there as well. Start in the second quarter. How evenly have these two teams been? 85 yards of offense for St. Francis, 84 yards of offense for Providence. So here on 4th and 7, going for it, holding on to it, looking to get it down. Nice snag that time as Dominic Vita hooks up with Curtis Stubbs. And the 6'4" junior gets an 11-yard pickup for a first down.
What an excellent job right there getting out of trouble. He was just about to be sacked, which would have been a big stop for St. Francis, and he got the ball down the field. Great catch, but an excellent job of getting the football down prior to a sack.
Providence Catholic showing you just how good and clutch this offense can be.
That's
now,
pretty close.
Oh, he was
mercy.
out of bounds. Had that left foot out of bounds, but no replay here. Instead, we move on. First down, and on the move is Vita, who gets close to the 20-yard line. It's a first down pickup that moves the chains. 10 yards on the play.
Now there's a quarterback that it's good to have in the state championship game. He's only a sophomore.
And now they catch St. Francis in trouble, going deep for Coleman in the end zone. It's easy work. Coleman gets the touchdown, and Providence Catholic is back on the board. A 21-yard score. They had St. Francis in disarray on defense.
Absolutely. After that catch, they thought they had him on 4th down, but the Celtics showed their resiliency. But Dominic Vita, he's only a sophomore, gets the ball down the field to his all-state and 3-year starter, Xavier Coleman, who made the catch. Now, he's on his way to Western Illinois. He's made the commit to play there. An outstanding receiver, 3-year starter for Celtics.
I think even though he's only a sophomore, Dominic Vita, quick to recognize he had a free play with those guys trying to get off the field, took advantage, took the shot, and it went from being a shot to a sure thing with Coleman back there in the corner of the end zone.
How often you would actually see in a state championship game a sophomore showing that kind of poise at quarterback? And you got to remember, there could be a sophomore lineman or wide receiver. They don't have the same pressure that a quarterback has as a sophomore.
Vlasic gets the extra point. It's a 14-6 Providence Catholic lead. The Celtics in control here on the campus of Illinois State University.
Every day we make choices. Some may seem small, but they add up. In moments of pressure, one decision can set the path. That choice follows you to school, your focus, your future. To your passions, your opportunities, the things that make you, you. One choice can change your path. Choose you. Make the choice that moves you forward.
Generation Lead, empowering athletes, inspiring leaders. For more information, visit generationlead.org.
When you fire up Big Ten Plus, you get more game, nonstop, around the clock. More live games you won't see anywhere else. More access to your team, wherever you want, 24/7. More stories.
Unstoppable.
More highlights. Whoa! More big-time playmakers. Plus, catch up to 4 games at once so you'll never miss more shots, spikes, and scores. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on.
Welcome back to the 5A state championships. We just saw an addition for Providence on the scoreboard. In the help of doing that is the sophomore quarterback, Dominic Vita. That is right. He is a sophomore representing this school at such a young age, but he said it's actually his maturity that is said to be the leadership for him for this group. It's what sets him apart and what Coach Tyler Plants has said has been the driving force and the success for this Providence team so far this season. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Kalia. Certainly the maturity has been there. He has looked like a veteran today. We're just under a minute into the second quarter. He's 4 for 4 for 80 yards and that touchdown pass.
Well, that's why he's a Division I prospect as a sophomore, and that's one of the reasons why Providence is playing the state championship game. When you have a leader like that can show that kind of poise. He's had great stats all year. He's helped them with that very balanced offense. He averages about 15 throws a game, completes 10 of them for about 136 yards a game. Now, that's great balance when you have the same kind of offense that they have that averages close to about 7.6 yards per carry. So they have excellent balance between the run and the pass.
That time we see another squib kick, this one in the hands of Zach Washington, who brings it out to the 37-yard line, and that's where St. Francis will set up shop now, down by 8 points. Not expecting to see too many punts in this game. That's the early vibe I'm getting here, Jack.
Well, it's a good vibe. It's a good vibe. I would agree with you. And if they both get good field position and they both have confidence in their offenses on fourth down, and fourth down is usually a relative short yardage for them, they're not going to be punting.
So Vita leads a drive, 7 plays, 67 yards, and now quickly out on the screen, and it is sniffed out. Another big play on defense by Lamar Winfield, who is putting his stamp, his fingerprints on this game early.
Well, that was kind of a dead giveaway early. The offensive lineman didn't really act it out enough. And when you're running a screen, the offensive lineman got to kind of drop a little bit, show pass, and they kind of took off right away like they were pulling for a run. And that was a dead giveaway for the defensive front as well as the linebackers of Providence. You got to do a better job of acting for those offensive linemen to make that play successful.
Already 2 tackles for loss for Winfield in this game. Quick wide receiver screen the other way. It's Milivojevic trying to sidestep a defender, but unable to do so. Nice open field tackle that time by Anthony Iaquinta.
Well, this is just a good job of getting the ball out there to make a play happen, but then just an excellent job right there of fundamental tackling in the open field. That's just something that you got to work on, and you've got to have trust in your defensive backs to be able to make those plays. And you got to remember, they're on a slick field. So all of a sudden you get a good elusive back out there, and you got to have good footing. He makes one move and you might go down, and it's 6 points.
So no gain on that play. That brings up a 3rd and 11 from the 36. This time back to pass, trying to sidestep the pressure. It's coming from behind him. He quickly gets it out, and that would be enough for a first down. There is a flag on the play back there, but a connection there with Blake Lohman, who has enough for the first down, but let's see what the penalty is.
That was really a good job by Phillip to get out of that trouble, but I think we might have a holding call there.
It was definitely in the area of holding, as the officials will discuss things.
But the flag looks like there could be some sort of an interference call. In either case, there's a penalty. That was a big play by St. Francis, though. Oh, lineman downfield.
Ineligible downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
See, those kind of plays happen when the quarterback starts scrambling. Well, that must have been pretty close there, because it was hard to tell where the line of scrimmage was and maybe where the offensive lineman was downfield. It looked like they were all fairly parallel there. So in either case, that was a big penalty for him.
Big penalty because it wipes out a 12-yard gain, a first down, and now it'll be 3rd and 16 from the 31 for St. Francis.
No, Harry is down here making the block on number 4. Good call by the officials. That's why they're down here. These guys have been rated. All the officials that come down for the state championship game are rated throughout the season, and these gentlemen have been rated the highest in their particular area, and that's why they're refereeing officiating the state championship game. They're the best of the best.
So here on 3rd and 16, needing to make something happen. That's a cross intended for Milivojevic. It falls flat, though, and that will bring up 4th and 16. On the coverage that time was John Fife.
I think we'll see a punt here. He's got a lot of time. Pretty good coverage right there. It's tough for these receivers to make cuts and make good moves here, because the field is slippery. So they can't really get good traction to make a good move on the defender.
So we will see our first punt of the game with 8:59 to play here in the first half.
I love having 2 receivers back there, especially on the turf for the bounce.
This one's going to take a bounce out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Not the best punt, but avoiding a return. 21-yard punt recorded that time by Evan Kalinsky.
Now, oftentimes you'll see people have one returner back there, and that's just something that's come down through the pros and through colleges. But high school, to me, having two back there, especially on the turf, because you can get some crazy bounces and you can get some good returns if you have two back there that can handle the football.
So excellent field position here. Providence Catholic will start at their own 48-yard line. Going back to work is Dominic Vita. Remember, he's perfect on the day. 4 for 4, 80 yards. And as a first touchdown, he'll keep it himself here, squeeze his way out across midfield inside the 50. It's a pickup of 2, 2nd and 8 coming.
That might have been I don't know if that was a designated run, because he doesn't run the ball that much during the regular season.
Came into the game with 108 rushes for 474 yards on the season.
And 6 touchdowns. That's not too bad, but I think those 6 touchdowns might have been closer to the goal line than midfield.
Yes, I'm assuming that that's the case for him. As Vita now with a big opportunity for Providence Catholic to go up by 2 scores. And out of the backfield, he'll keep it himself. So he heard what you said. He said, watch this, Jack.
Right. Well, Jack's still watching.
Not much on the game there. It's a pickup of 2. It'll be a 3rd and 6.
See their big tight end coming up off the field here, Ben Coleman. Which means that he comes off the field when he's 6'4", 240, and he's a sophomore. He's not involved in the passing game too much. They bring in other personnel to throw the football down the field.
Peyton Shipley was ready for that one. The junior linebacker got that one. They are 1 of 2 on 3rd down so far in this game. And now rolling to his right, Vita looking downfield, pressure coming. He gets rid of it, but that throw was definitely affected as he got hit as he threw that time. And it's the same man on the page. Peyton Shipley stopped him on the running play before. This time he chases him down behind the line.
Well, and the play that was the same exact play before was the play that got him down to the field for the touchdown. They weren't able to make the sack here. Here they put the pressure on him where he threw the ball incomplete. So the same plays, but different results.
So 4th and 6 is we're going to have back-to-back punting situations. Bryce Vlasic out to punt here. Do you think this decision is any different on 4th and 6 at midfield if they had not gotten the stop?
Oh, definitely.
But now they're playing defense, and that's a high punt.
Good bounce.
Good bounce. Picked up by Milivojevic. Can't escape the open field tackle, however, by IHSA. When we come back, St. Francis, another chance to answer, down 14-6 to Providence Catholic in the 5A state title game.
Dental and vision coverage through Delta Dental of Illinois. Get a plan that fits to a T.
Credit Union One, proud banking partner of the IHSA, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 130,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com.
Dental and vision coverage through Delta Dental of Illinois. Get a plan that fits to a T.
14-6, Providence Catholic holding on to an 8-point lead over St. Francis. A couple of touchdowns by the Celtics as they try to avenge a regular season loss to the Spartans and take home a state title in the process. Taking a look at all that snow that has been moved off the field. Can you imagine if they had tried to play this game on Saturday?
Wow. I can imagine you trying to figure out what the numbers were. I mean, with the snow coming down, the footing, it was bad enough driving home, more or less trying to call a football game.
And we'll see if St. Francis likes having a second chance to tie this ball game. Quick out this time. Trying to sidestep, but not able to get very far that time was Tanner Glock out to the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 2.
What a nice job by the defensive secondary right there. Coming up and making the play and holding off Anthony LaQuinta, number 21. You can see the job right there fighting off that block. That slows him down enough to make him try and cut back. So you're talking about, you give the credit to the guy that made the tackle, but the guy that really deserved the credit is the guy that fought that block off and forced him to turn back up inside the safety.
That would be John Fife doing some of the dirty work so that Iaquinta could have the glory of the tackle. So 2nd and 9 coming. Here's the draw play. Holding on to it, and Brock Phillip able to get it out to close to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 9 on the play.
Now, Brock Phillip is a nice pickup by St. Francis this year. He transferred in from Geneva High School. And so he was there this summer learning the offense and whatever, but he's done a great job for him. And anytime, obviously, you have a quarterback that's not been in your system for 4 years and you get a transfer that comes in and he can lead you to the state championship game, he's done a pretty darn good job, and he has done that.
Saw him getting some instruction there from the offensive coordinator, Lonnie Stair, who played for Navy, so knows a thing or two about some success and discipline. And now, Phillip, he's got time. He's going deep, looking for Washington over the top, and he's got it. Zach Washington, first big play of the game for St. Francis, has them now knocking on the door down to the 9-yard line. It's a pickup of 52.
What a great job of throwing the ball, putting it on the money. Great job of a route. But you got to give a lot of credit to that offensive line because he got a lot of time there to throw that ball. This was his second read. He was going to a shorter receiver coming in. Great job by that offensive line right there of Anderson, Hill, Jeffries, Torres, and Rubino. Holding up and giving Phillip time to throw the ball down the field. You got to give credit where credit is due.
Now under 6 minutes to play, and a timeout's going to be taken.
What a nice play right there.
On the offense.
That ball was just right on the money, never had a break stride.
So the timeout is taken as we take another look at what was a beautiful ball. And as you said, the offensive line held up, and then Zach Washington did the rest, getting open.
Never broke stride, put the ball right on the money. Excellent throw. Just an all-around great play. Quarterback did his job. Receiver got open on the post route, and the offensive line did a great job of pass blocking.
So now St. Francis with the chance to even things up. Take a look at Brock Phillip in this game. 7 of 11, 96 yards. He's got a touchdown. He's also rushed for 16 yards. And this one has lived up to the billing so far, Jack, as two explosive offenses that are used to scoring points. Again, in the regular season, they played, through the playoffs now, they've each played 13 games. They've each scored exactly 446 points. 34.3 points per contest. Now the handoff to Caldwell. Caldwell having trouble on the left side as he tried to get to the edge. Couldn't get there. Got stood up. It's a gain of 1, perhaps.
Well, when you talk about an offense, you got to talk about, obviously, the quarterback being productive. And that's what Brock Phillip has done, as he showed you on that pass play. But throughout the year, he's averaged 237 yards of total offense. That's both run and pass. He's passed for 31 touchdowns, and he's run for 11. So he's actually given the offense 42 touchdowns this year. That's not too shabby for a quarterback.
Not bad at all. This time, he'll quickly get it out and tackled, but inside the 5 is Washington. And the senior gets knocked out of bounds, showing you why he is a Michigan State commit on this drive.
Good job, though, of Anthony Carter coming over, number 13, and making the play. And Anthony Carter's only a sophomore, so that kind of gives you an idea. Some of these young players are so poised to be in a big game like this in a historic moment, and yet they can make a play. That kind of gives you an idea of the coaching that they receive at their respective schools.
Different philosophies from these coaches. Bob McMillan plays a handful of guys both ways. Meanwhile, on the other side is scrambling now, keeping himself and getting taken down just before the end zone. He's down to the 1-yard line that time is Brock Phillip.
Good job right there by the defensive backs. Now remember, the field is shortened right here. You got that 12th defender, which is the end line of the end zone. And that secondary did really a nice job of covering. And it's really tough to do when you have a scrambling quarterback, because even though the field is shorter, they're all running parallel routes, which is tougher to guard than it is to defend a vertical route.
So now we've got a 4th and goal situation. Keeping it, plowing ahead, forward, and into the end zone is Brock Phillip. On 4th and goal, St. Francis able to power their way into the end zone.
Nice job by Phillips getting in. That's his 12th running touchdown this year, but a good job again by the offensive line. Matt Anderson and Brady Hill. You can see the power. You see the surge, the blue into the end zone. That's always going to result in a touchdown right there. That offensive line has just done a nice job so far in this drive of Matt Anderson, Brady Hill, Torrin Jeffries, Jalen Torres, and Matt Rubilo. You know, you got to give credit to those 5 defensive or offensive players up front.
Do you like the decision to go for 2 here?
Yeah.
Trying to even it up right here with 3:08 left in the second quarter. Here's Phillip. Rolling to his right. He sees daylight. Can he get there? He can. Falling into the end zone and tying this game up at 14 apiece. We're all square.
I like this decision even better now.
St. Francis able to come back and end a big drive with a Brock Phillip touchdown followed by a Phillip 2-point conversion.
Again, a good job by the secondary, but again, whenever they're running parallel routes, they got to keep an eye on the receiver. And when you have an athletic quarterback that has the ability to run, that's the result of that.
So a big-time drive for Brock Phillip. 8 plays, 72 yards, 4:08 off the clock. Phillip on that drive, by the way, not only did he have the rushing touchdown, the 2-point conversion, he was 3 of 3 passing, and of course he had the big 52-yard bomb to Zach Washington to set up the touchdown.
Outstanding play calling right there, but also a good job of execution, not only by the quarterback, but on the big pass plays. Got to give credit to the offensive line. On the big pass plays, you got to give credit to those receivers for getting open. So it's a great combination of a team effort on this particular drive. Every facet of their offense had a contribution to the touchdown in that drive.
So this game now becomes a race to the clock. You'll remember that Providence Catholic won the toss, elected to defer. So now we're in what we call the middle 8 here. Final 4 minutes of the first half. First 4 minutes of the second half. And Providence Catholic, if they play it right, can score twice here to get back in control, perhaps get a 2-point possession lead. But the ball seems to have come out on this kickoff return. Referees blow it dead. Let's see what the call is on the field. They're going to say it stays with Providence Catholic. We've seen a lot on the ground, but the passing games for these two teams has been on display here in the first half.
Nice job of delivering the football, good routes, but what you rely on is after the catch. What do they do with the football after the catch? Now here's a good job of sitting in that pocket, showing tremendous poise and letting an outstanding receiver on his way to Michigan State make a big play for you.
So his 2 top receivers, Milivojevic, Washington, they've been key as getting the handoff there was Broden Mackert. It's the outside. Picks up 1 on the play for being shut down.
Well, they're going to run their 2-minute offense right here. No huddling. Little confusion. How many men?
Under 3 minutes on the clock. Taking their time. Now getting some instruction with 10 seconds left on the play clock. Here's Vita. Flanked by Mackert. He'll give it to Mackert. Mackert slips a tackle, gets across the 45, and finally taken down at the 46-yard line. Peyton Shipley on the tackle.
Good job of running. He's been their workhorse. Second half, you can see the guard and tackle getting out up in front of him. Anytime you have those big linemen out in front of you, you know you're going to pick up a couple yards if you stay right behind them. It's like getting in line behind a buffet. Follow those linemen to the trough.
They know the way to the food. 3rd and 2 now. 2 yards and more.
Ooh, what a move.
Mackert spins to the outside. Now it's It's a foot race to the edge. Makes a defender miss. Finally brought down by Dylan Liner, but a big gainer for Mackert. He got the first down and a whole lot more. 42 yards on the pickup, and watch this spin move.
Just an outstanding job here of bouncing it outside, headed inside. It's hard to believe that he was able to keep his traction here.
More from Mackert as he plunges forward inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line.
They're on the move. And he's the workhorse. We mentioned there's times when Providence has run their tailback 20, 30 times in a ball game. They get in that routine, and the offensive line is just in a psych, and they just want to run the ball.
And they ran that play very quickly, trying to catch St. Francis off guard. But now with a minute left in the first half, you don't want to leave any time, right, for St. Francis?
Well, I think we're in a situation right now where they want to make sure they get it in, because St. Francis does play some good goal line defense.
And they do that. It's Vita. The fake to Mackert, and he keeps it for himself. Dominic Vita has just put Providence Catholic back on top with 50 seconds left in the half.
What an outstanding run by Broden Mackert. And then just a good job here. And that part of that reason that the quarterback was able to get it up inside is because they were spending so much time watching Mackert, because he carried the ball the last 2 times. They closed down on him and left the inside open for the quarterback. Good play call and good job by Dominic Vita, a 6'4", 185-pound sophomore, getting a touchdown in a big ball game like this, the state championship.
On for the extra point is Vlasic. It is up. It is through. Back out to a 7-point lead with 50 seconds to play for the Celtics.
Good drive here. That was just a great run.
Broden Mackert on that drive, 58 of the 62 yards on the ground for the game, 9 carries for 89 yards.
Well, that's the workhorse. It's interesting to look across the field, Marshall, and you see, because of the situation here down in Bloomington Normal, with the snow and the blizzards that we had and everything else, both teams are situated on the same side. They're both on the home side, but they're just separated down the 50-yard line is the dividing line. Providence fans are on one side, as you can see, and St. Francis fans are on the other side, and that's what they had to deal with. So you talk about a tremendous job by the Illinois State grounds crew to get this field ready, and then the logistics that went into this by the Illinois High School Association in conjunction with the Illinois State people to get this ready to play. It's a tribute to them. The accolades go to them to make sure that these young players were able to play in a state championship game, because this was such a unique situation.
So we had the kickoff at 3 o'clock. Remember, this is the first game of a doubleheader. We'll have the 6A championship game after this. And then, of course, tomorrow we've got the 7 and the 8A championship game. Another kick that's going to be brought in by Milivojevic, looking for some space to run. He's taken down, unable to get it back out to the 25-yard line. 46 seconds left on the clock for St. Francis to try to make something happen.
They're not going to do anything real silly here because Providence is going to play a lot looser in the secondary, knowing the abilities, obviously, of the quarterback to be able to get the ball deep, as they did on that one play to Zach Washington. So they're going to play a little softer here in the secondary and go in and make some adjustments at halftime as well as warm up.
Warming up sounds like a good idea. Good thing we are in this heated press box. Nice and cozy.
Tell you, it's nice.
1st and 10 from the 24. Back to pass is Philp, the quick hitter. Trying to come back across the field. Not finding much room, though, is Milivojevic. He's taken down. It's a pickup of maybe 3 on the player, maybe a loss of 1.
That was a nice job of the backside of Providence's defense. You can see at the bottom of your screen, sliding down, number 23, Colin Shedwell. He stays home. That's his job, is to look for reverses and counters coming backside and or bootlegs. That's good coaching and good discipline by Anthony.
Wheaton St. Francis.
Excuse me, Colin Shedwell.
Operator, please reset the clock to 30 seconds. 3-0. Thank you.
So they will put a couple of seconds back on the clock after a timeout is called by St. Francis. Spartans after that now down to just 1 timeout here in the first half.
We talked about this before, and you and I talked about this at meetings as far as the matchup. We really thought it was going to be a good, close game after that game that they played in the 5th game of the year, the regular season, where St. Francis won 47-35. But both teams have played a tough schedule, both being in the Catholic League, St. Francis being in the Catholic League green, and Providence being in the Catholic League orange. And they play some tough teams. St. Francis played against 9 playoff opponents. Providence played against 7 playoff opponents.
Looking at some of the losses here, Nazareth Academy, Marian Catholic, or excuse me, not Marian Catholic, but IC Catholic Prep, and then Loyola for St. Francis, just to give you an idea of who they lost to on the way to this 10-3 record. Now on 2nd and 11, Phillip stepping up in the pocket. He's getting wrapped up and he's getting taken down. Lamar Winfield. He already had 2 tackles for a loss. Give him a sack on that play. Loss of 7.
This sack has also contributed to the secondary. You can see what a good job they do. They're playing zone, not getting beat man-to-man coverage, just playing zone, which is easier to play when you're talking about a slick field like this, because sometimes you play man-to-man, you can slip and slide, and your guy will be wide open. You play in a zone, you can play it softer, but give credit to that front to put good pressure on him.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 22 after that loss of 7. And what a first half for Lamar Winfield. 2 tackles for loss and a sack. And now they're having a discussion here. The officials are.
Has to do with the clock.
Timeout.
I think Providence was trying to get a timeout in there to maybe force a punt and have a chance to take a shot at the end zone.
That was a good call. Good call there by Tyler Plants, the head coach of Providence. Has been there for 4 years. Done an excellent job. He was a heck of a football player himself at Providence. I remember doing games when he was at Providence. Then, of course, he went on to Notre Dame. So he's had a great career football-wise, not only at Providence, but at Notre Dame.
Coming off a season in which they just went 4-6, 1-3 in conference, didn't make the playoffs, and now to turn around and be here has to be feeling pretty good. And, you know, talking about this group, this senior class, he said, these are the guys that came in when I came in as a head coach. So to win it all would be special because of that element of this.
Well, that's usually the case with these coaches. They get these kids coming in as freshmen. You're with them all the time in the weight room in the winter time and watching their careers if they're in another sport. And it's just a great feeling to see them be successful in their senior year.
Here's scrambling, and Phillips got some daylight ahead of him. Takes off, gets it all the way out to the 41-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 24, a.k.a. a first down.
Leaves his helmet on the ground. Got to come out of the ball game. Good job of scrambling here. Again, taking advantage of that soft secondary coverage. Kind of run with it the whole time here to make sure that they didn't give up a silly play where Providence could take the ball over and maybe kick a field goal here at the end.
So their final timeout has been called. So now he can come back on the field, right?
Yes. But they're not going to do anything crazy here with 8 seconds left.
Not sure what the specific arm strength is of Brock Phillip. Maybe run a little hook and ladder.
Well, his arm strength is what he showed us on that pass to Zach Washington, where he hit him for 48 yards from midfield. But again, he had a good coverage right there as far as the offensive line. But now they're putting more pressure between the defensive people and those linebackers, putting a little more pressure on him because they know he can throw the deep ball if given time.
See if they try to work the sidelines. 8 seconds is it's a little bit of time, but it's not a lot of time.
Well, it's enough for a big play.
Again, though, out of timeouts is St. Francis. Now set up. He will fake the handoff, keep it himself, trying to bust to the outside. Almost got there, but tripped up. Tripped up just in time, and that will be the last play of the first half. So Providence Catholic with a 21-14 lead after 2 quarters of play after falling in the regular season 47-35. That was way back in week 5 when St. Francis was able to knock off the Celtics. Let's go downstairs and check in with Kalia Butler. Kalia?
Coach, you took the lead. Coach, you took the lead late in this first half. What do you want to continue executing on in the second?
Just keep pursuing to the ball on defense, keep running the ball on offense. Just want to keep doing the things we do, playing physical football. Obviously, the weather is what it is, but just keep competing and keep being physical at the point of attack.
This is a team that you are familiar with. How do you prepare for their second half response?
I mean, obviously playing them's helpful, but they've got guys all over the place that can score with one throw, as we saw earlier this half. So really just trying to do everything in our power to make sure that we can slow down their playmaking ability and, again, just keep being able to dominate the point of attack, dominate the line of scrimmage, and run a ball, stop the run.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Kalia. It's halftime here in Normal. It's been a back-and-forth affair between St. Francis and Providence Catholic, but it's the Celtics over the Spartans at the break. They have a 21-14 lead, one half away from a title in the 5A state title game.
Save big on automotive supplies at Menards. Good maintenance equals longer vehicle life, and Menards carries automotive products that help keep your vehicle on the road. Prevent diesel fuel from gelling in colder climates with Howe's Diesel Treat. On sale for only $11.99. FVP Premium Starting Fluid helps provide fast starts on the coldest days and is engineered to work with all gasoline and diesel engines. Get an 11-ounce bottle for just $2.69.
Attention high school students. If you're tired of hearing the same old college debt story, we've got an exciting alternative for you. Join the Mid-America Carpenters Union and let your career dreams take flight. You can earn great pay, enjoy no-cost health insurance, and secure a stable retirement, all with no college debt and an elite career that's here to stay. It's time to build your future your way. Ready to carve your path to success? Contact the Mid-America Carpenters Union today to learn how you can unleash your potential.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you can go from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is the spirit of thousands of Salukis. Capture this moment and go forward together.
I'm a proud man. So asking my son to help me bathe, that was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Walk-in tubs give you independence and peace of mind with low step-in doors, slip-resistant floors, soothing hydrotherapy jets, and fast drain technology.
Now I don't need anybody's help. I've got my dignity back.
1-833-304-0361. 1-833-304-0361.
The IHSA, committed to keeping student-athletes safe. Through educational initiatives and national partnerships, we're going the distance to develop safer protocols for our teams. Plus, we continue to improve scheduling and conditioning to reduce injuries from preseason through each state championship. 31 sports, 350,000 student-athletes, and one goal, player safety. The IHSA, the future plays here.
Before she became a global icon, Jackie Joyner-Kersee was already rewriting history in Illinois. At East St. Louis Lincoln High School, she led her team to 3 consecutive IHSA Class AA track and field state titles. Her dominance extended to the hardwood. After a near miss in 1980, she powered Lincoln to the 1981 state basketball championship. At UCLA, Joyner-Kersee was a dual sports star, excelling in basketball and track. Her NCAA heptathlon title foreshadowed Olympic greatness. Across 4 Olympic Games, she captured 6 medals, 3 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze, and set a heptathlon world record that stood for over 30 years. Today, her impact continues through the Jackie Joyner-Kersee Foundation, uplifting youth in East St. Louis. From IHSA champion to one of the greatest female athletes of the 20th century, Jackie Joyner Kersey's legacy is unmatched.
When Chicago's most...
May your days be merry and bright, and your gifts full of the sweetest sparkle. This holiday season, make every moment shine a little brighter with something truly special from Flora Gems. From brilliant diamonds to one-of-a-kind treasures, Flora Gems is your destination for gifts that leave them speechless. Celebrate the magic of the season with a gift that sparkles from the heart, because the best thing under the Christmas tree is a diamond from Flora Gems.
No sé qué pasó. I didn't even drink that much.
News Nation Saturday. It's an underwater mystery.
Strange objects coming up out of the water.
3 orbs that were close together.
Now, the search for UFOs takes you deep below the surface.
We got bottom. Whoa!
The new evidence this U.S. congressman wants President Trump to see.
And I would hope that he would bust this thing wide open.
Are we alone?
Reality Check with Ross Coulthard. Underwater UFOs. Saturday at 8/7 Central on News Nation.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Hey, sports fans, it's time to celebrate our local high school athletes and all their accomplishments. Each week, we'll select one winner. Winning athletes will be featured on WCIA.com and WCIA 3 News. Then, at the end of the school year, one male and one female athlete of the week winner will be named our Athletes of the Year. Go to WCIA.com or scan the code below to nominate your outstanding varsity athlete.
WCIA 3 Athlete of the Week, sponsored by CIBM Bank.
Hi, my name is Eunmi Shim. I serve as the president of OSF St. Joseph Medical Center. OSF Healthcare is the official healthcare partner of the IHSA, and that means something to us. In any community, youth is the future. Anything that we do to nurture them, to grow them, is going to make the community successful. From that perspective, OSF St. Joseph Medical Center wants to do our parts as well. Supporting high school sports programs, especially the basketball programs, is going to lead us to stronger and healthier youth that will be understanding the community and be part of the future of the community. We have a long tradition of working with the youth as a healthcare system. We also want to attract them to our healthcare profession as well. So if they get to know us more and better, I know it will help them to consider healthcare career and be part of this community to continue to grow with us. Our commitment extends beyond the event, so visitors have access to healthcare if needed during their time here. For minor illnesses and injuries, OSF On-Call Urgent Care is available for in-person care from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 7 days a week, and 24/7 virtual care through osfoncall.org. We also offer orthopedic and sports medicine, even partnering with Ortho Midwest and primary care providers. We also provide athletic trainers through our sports medicine program. We can highlight our healthcare provider partnership with Illinois State University and Illinois Wesleyan University in Bloomington. Thank you for being a part of OSF Healthcare community. For more information, please visit osfhealthcare.org.
WCIA has been following this story since 2024 when Sonia Massey was shot and killed by a former Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy. The Peoria County Courthouse, we had a presence there all 8 days. There was a impact all across the country. I mean, you had national news outlets covering this. When we say community impact, it really wasn't just in Springfield, just in Champaign, just in our viewing area. It was everywhere. When I was there, I interviewed supporters who stood all 8 days outside of the Peoria County Courthouse.
A personal moment. The moment I shared with Sonia Massey's father, James Wilburn, when I asked him, you know, what he thought Sonia would say if she was still alive today, and I'll never forget his answer.
I love you, Daddy, because that's the way we ended every conversation, be it in person or on the phone, was I love you, Daddy.
I think that really brought a human aspect out of the story to show this wasn't just a person. This was someone's daughter, someone's mother. We really wanted to get to the family, to the friends, to the Springfield community that knew Sonia really well. The story is not over. We have sentencing coming up at the end of January in Sangamon County, where we will learn how long Sean Grayson will be in jail. The Massey family wants to see more done. They want to change the law. Her cousin even said,
I will dedicate my life dismantling the systems that created this problem.
This is a story we're going to be following for months, for years to come, as the Massey family makes sure their voices are not silenced and that their ideas are heard.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
We are in the highlights. Halftime here at Illinois State, where the IHSA 5A title game is a one-score contest. Providence Catholic up 21-14 over St. Francis. Let's take a look at the halftime highlights of this one. Dominic Vita got busy early thanks to some help from friends like Xavier Coleman getting down the field.
Excellent job here of execution.
And Braden Mokert to finish off the drive, and Providence Catholic was on the board first. But Brock Phillip, not to be outdone, was able to answer thanks to big-time plays to receivers like Dario Milivojevic. And then, of course, Milivojevic, he can do things when he has the ball in his hands.
He really can, but it's good, really good poise by the quarterback.
Braden Mokert, he's been a revelation in this game. I say revelation because maybe not the whole state was aware of just how good he's been, but Xavier Coleman, another guy who's an all-state guy, and then Pruitt and company coming back, Zach Washington over the top. And Pruitt doing it with his arm and his legs.
Great job by the offensive line here. That surge getting him in the end zone.
And then Mokert, this was maybe the play of the first half?
Great play. Just an outstanding play where he spins off and cuts back big time.
Dominic Vitas finishes it off, and this is why Providence Catholic has a touchdown lead as we look at the halftime stats brought to you by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs. The time of possession is the thing that really has to stand out, to be down 21-14 and be almost doubling up the other team.
Well, you know, I look at time of possession, and I'm never really impressed with that because you look at the score and you say, well, they just had to grind out the ball, where the other team, when you have less possession, you're talking about they're a big play team. So you look at the rest of the stats, passing and rushing, about the same, total yards. Pretty good matchup, and the score is not that far different. So it's been a close, tight ball game, and I'm really interested to see the adjustment made in the second half.
Providence with touchdowns on 3 of its 4 possessions. They will have the ball to start the second half. It's the IHSA Class 5A state championship game. So far, the Celtics are up.
A handful of years ago, my husband was really ill in the hospital. He has an autoimmune condition that causes a bleeding problem. He was in the hospital for over 40 days and needed 7 blood transfusions over the course of a couple of weeks. The blood really was a key component to getting him well again and getting him back out. Watching somebody that you care about, or the person that you care about the most, being that ill and sort of not knowing if you're gonna go home by yourself or they're gonna come out the other side and you're gonna go home together. It's hard to describe. It's very emotional. It's really taxing. You sort of put everything else on hold and just focus on doing anything you can do to get them well. If you aren't able to find time in your schedule to give blood, but can maybe help organize a blood drive somewhere else, or can find a blood mobile that's able to come to your place of work or things like that, I would encourage you to sort of help in any way you can. Even if it's just encouraging other people to donate, because I know there are some people that want to donate blood but can't for whatever reason, then I would say encourage others and help others find a place to donate. There is not enough gratitude in the world to express how thankful we are that blood was donated and he was able to get help. He's still alive because of blood donation. The holidays are here. From stocking stuffers to showstoppers, the best local gifts are right here in Central Illinois. We're showcasing local shops and uncovering unique gift ideas in our Holiday Gift Guide special. It's holiday shopping made easy.
Watch CI Living's Holiday Gift Guide special Wednesday, December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. on WCIA3. Sponsored by Hardy's Reindeer Ranch, Out of the Blue Polish Pottery and Gifts, and Harda Med Spa.
We said we'd never break the 3-second rule. Never do that. And never become a minivan mom.
Hey, Chris.
As parents, we say never a lot, but never happens. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
On to you.
Back at halftime here at Illinois State University, Providence Catholic with a 21-14 lead over the St. Francis Spartans. Brock Phillips has been doing it both with his arm and his legs. Phillips, 9 of 13, 100 yards and a touchdown. He's also rushed 8 times for 48 yards and a score. He's been a big reason why St. Francis has been in this game. Let's go downstairs to the third member of our crew, Kalia Butler, who's got a guest. Kalia?
Coach, what was the message for this team at half to stay in this game?
We just have to play better football. This wasn't our best half of football. We got outplayed. Providence came out with a great game plan, and we are not executing on either side of the ball right now.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
So Bob McMillan keeping it short and simple. Execution, of course, is always a big play. How would you look at this at halftime if you are St. Francis trying to, of course, come back and knowing you're capable of doing it, because these guys all know that they got a 47-35 win over Providence Catholic way back when?
I would look at the imbalance between the run and the pass. And the problem is both the run and the pass is coming from the same person, Brock Phillip. He's your leading rusher, he's your leading passer. You got to have some balance, and you've got to get somebody in that run game that's going to establish the run game to make it easier for Brock Phillip to throw the ball down the field. Right now, they can play pass defense. He's doing a nice job, but you can't have your quarterback being your leading rusher.
St. Francis, of course, with that Week 5 win we talked about, 47-35, but that was way back on September 26th. So much changes between the month of September, and now we're obviously into December at this point, Jack. Do you try to wipe that away from your kids' minds if you're the winning coach, or do you try to use that as motivation if you were the losing coach in that first game? How would you approach a rematch? Because I know you've dealt with them in the past.
Well, a lot of coaches have gone through that, but it's really tough when you end up seeing them again in the playoffs and they're in the conference, but it was a non-conference game. But you watch the tape and you look at the tape and you forget about the score. You look at the tape and say, okay, this is what we did good. This is what we did bad. You use it as a scouting report for yourself. Here's something we're going to need to work on, and you get the kids to buy into the differences of what made the game go in either direction, either a win or a loss. What was positive, what was negative, and let's improve in those areas.
So it'll be Xavier Coleman and Braden McKay back deep to return for Providence Catholic. Also, Anthony Carter, one of the players back who could deal with a shorter kick as well. And kicking, of course, for St. Francis to start this second half, Evan Kalinsky, as the Spartans need a stop here. That's going to be up and fielded at the 25, almost tripped up and instead taken down fiercely, and the ball is out is what St. Francis is saying. Let's see what the officials say as they come in to look at it.
Based on how they're acting, I would think that the ball was down, but
the officials are taking a strong, hard look right now to see who has the ball. And they are saying it is with Providence Catholic. So it came out, and they went in and reviewed it and said a white jersey was on top.
you can see the frustration right there by Bob McMillan. Gets a high tackle here, and then the ball, yeah, it's a fumble, no doubt about it. Good job right there getting on the ball. That could have been either person. That fumble went to the guy that spent more time in the weight room.
And it was a clear classic fight at the bottom of the pile for that one, because no one had a good angle at it when it first came out. But Providence Catholic able to hold on, and now they will try to add to their touchdown lead out of the gate here in the third quarter. Here's Dominic Vita.
Giving them a lot of different formation looks, forcing the adjustments, see what matchups they can get.
Play clock down to 5. Broden Mackert alongside. It'll be Vita keeping it, getting daylight, getting out to the 45-yard line before finally being taken down. Gain of 16 on first down.
Good job here of faking to Mackert. You can see the linebackers got pinned off, and what they're doing is they're relying on the success of Broden Mackert in that first half. He was so successful running the ball. Now it's opened up a little bit for Dominic Vita to run the football. And you can see by his last couple of runs that he is capable of doing that.
James McGrath on the stop, but not before they get out to the 45-yard line. This time it is Mokert who gets to the middle and off the left tackle. Gets out to about the 48-yard line before being taken down by a couple of defenders in blue. Led by A.J. Redmond. It'll be a 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard pickup.
Again, this is one of those scenarios where do you have the patience to rely on your run game and to set up the play action pass for the bigger play.
Mackert now will get the pitch, gets hit behind the line of scrimmage, but slips the tackle of Jalen Torres and gets ahead to the 48-yard line as he crosses midfield. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 4 now. And the first big play of this third quarter comes on the first Providence Catholic drive. Chance for St. Francis to stand up. Vita trying to use the cadence to draw the Spartans offside.
The coach is on the sideline looking at the defensive front to make the changes.
This time he'll keep it himself and brought down immediately. Gets out maybe to the 50 as Cooper Poxtus able to make the play. That's a loss of a couple.
Decision.
So now we have a 4th and 5 situation.
Good backside pursuit again. He's coming flat down the line of scrimmage, not getting too deep, but flat enough because it'll take you right right to where the ball is, because he's got to eventually turn up the field and just stay flat enough on the line of scrimmage. You're going to make that play.
Now the whole team being called over, the entire offense for Providence Catholic, to get some words. Play clock under 10 now as they rush to the line of scrimmage. Now 5 seconds left on the play clock. It'll be a punt. Getting it off, dangerously close to having it blocked, calling for the fair catch, and pulling it in is Milivojevic. So St. Francis gets the stop they need to start the third quarter. They will have a chance to tie it up when we come back.
Go wash up and grab your sister.
Okay, but first... Where's Grandma?
Hey, Mama.
Ma.
I'm worried about Mom.
Mom? She's fine. These the ones, right, Mama?
Yeah, groundlings.
Sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
Daddy, it's salty.
Grandma's just getting old. Some things come with age.
And some don't.
Early detection of Alzheimer's can lead to better care for your loved one.
Add 2 eggs.
Learn the early warning signs at 10signs.org.
Providence Catholic holding on to a 21-14 lead over St. Francis here in the IHSA Class 5A State Championship game. Alongside Jack McInerney, the coach, I am Marshall Harris. Kalia Butler down on the sidelines with you here from Normal, Illinois, where they have cleared off the snow, and that's a low snap. Quickly back out to Milivojevic, gets across and out to the 30. Scratch that. It was actually not Milivojevic on that catch. Drew Kegabine. But a positive play, pick up a 7 to the left side.
Well, this is what they want to do. It's their way of getting to the perimeter without running the football. And he shows pretty good balance, but so far in this game, he really hasn't spread the ball out to the receivers that he normally does.
This time he'll keep it himself. Pruitt gets to the left side, wrapped up though, and taken down by Anthony Carter. So Carter with a nice tackle there, unable to pick up a first down. Excuse me, it was a first down. He gets across the 35-yard line out to the 37.
Well, as we mentioned, Brock Phillip has been the leading rusher for St. Francis, and that really is not what they want to do. But, you know, it's the last game of the year, and if he's going to you're going to put the game on his shoulders, he's a good one to do that to.
This time the handoff not to Brock Pruitt. Instead, it's Caldwell stopped short. That time, Dominic Infelice with the stop.
That's only about the second or third carry, I think, that Caldwell has. He had the first carry of the opening part of the ball game, and I think that's only the second time he might have carried the football. You've got to rely on that running back to keep the passing lanes open. And he's capable of doing it at 215 pounds. He averages 67 yards a game on 9 carries, so that's pretty good balance, but it hasn't happened thus far.
2nd and 11 here. Dropping back. Pressure coming. Held off. In the middle, and Milivojevic can't hold on. Wide open. He had room to run if he brings it in, but instead, it's a drop. And that'll bring up 3rd and 11.
A good throw under pretty good pressure. See the poise he has, steps up into the pocket, and he gets a crossing route here. Right in the breadbasket, kind of looking to run before he catches the football.
Do you think the official could have been in Milivojevic's way when he tried to catch? He ducked down as the ball was being...
Well, he ducked down, but it still was in the breadbasket, so I want to say he should have caught it. It's easy for me to say up here.
1 for 5 on 3rd downs. St. Francis so far in this game. Big one coming up here, 3rd and 11. Gets rid of it. Now looking to go forward and dragging a couple of defenders with him across the 1st down line. That time is Zach Washington. So a big play that time by the All-State honorable mention.
Well, it looks like I don't know what the mark he got here. It's going to be 4th and about now. They gave it to him?
It is a first down.
Okay.
It was close, though.
It was very close. Good throw, though, by Phillip.
So now 2 for 6 on 3rd downs. Spartans on the move, down by 7. They've trailed for most of this game. Out of the shotgun, looking to keep it himself. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide from the defensive front of Providence Catholic.
Well, they tried to formation them out of their initial setup by going to the trips on one wide side of the field, hoping to spread the linebackers out to help out with a little coverage. And the offensive line just was not able to handle Enflees, Hutton, and Winfield there on the defensive front. You know, they're only got 3 up front, but they're big up front at 275, 210, and 245, and they're quick. So they've been putting a little bit pressure. So basically, it's been 5 blockers for St. Francis blocking 3 defensive linemen.
This time all the wideouts to the left, taking a shot downfield, looking for Washington again.
Oh, we got a flag.
Did he catch it? I believe he did. A flag is out. Pass interference coming, but Washington able to hold on to it at the 6-yard line.
What a nice throw and catch.
46 yards as he hits him again in stride.
What great concentration right there, and that's why he's headed to Michigan State. When you can make catches like that with pressure.
On the defense, penalty is declined.
Good throw, excellent catch.
To the first down.
So now a 1st and goal from the 7-yard line is what they're going to call it. But a 46-yard catch. Anthony Carter's arm all in there did not matter as Washington able to hold on.
Well, you can see that the faith that Brock Phillip has in him to get open, because he just threw that ball down the field 10 yards before he ever got open.
This time looking for a room to run to the right side. He gets into the end zone. Brock Phillip has scored again with his legs. A chance now to tie the game for the Spartans.
Nice job right there of faking and getting back across the grain. Good job by Brady Hill, Tyron Jeffries, and Jalen Torres and Matt Ruberno right there pulling out in front of him. Good play call right there. Excellent execution. You can see he gets a good job by the running back getting out in front of him also.
So a 7-yard touchdown run by Brock Pruitt. And on to kick the extra point is Evan Kalinsky. Kalinsky had an extra point blocked earlier on the first touchdown scored on the day. See if he fares better here. Gets this one up, and it's off to the left. Wide left on the extra point, and St. Francis once again down by a point. 1-point game here in Normal. Providence Catholic holding on to a lead in the 5A title game.
Every great team starts with trust. The kind of trust that builds over time. For 50 years, Country Financial has teamed up with IHSA in our communities. And for 100 years, we've protected you with insurance that does more. From the best times to the tough ones, a great team's got your back when it matters most. Thanks for your trust for 100 years. Here's to 100 more. Country Financial. Experience more.
With Menards and Zach Washington, despite the pass interference from Anthony Carter, pulls in what Brock Phillip is throwing up. It's a 46-yard completion, and it's Zach Washington's second big play of the game. It's also the Menards play of the game.
Well, he's certainly capable of those type of plays, because in the semifinals, when they played Belvedere North, who ended up the season 12-1, but came into the ball game 12-0. He had a great game. He was 14 for 16 for 188 yards and 3 touchdowns, and that was in the semis. But which kind of surprised me, he also had 6 runs, and he had a 15-yard touchdown run in there. But the thing that kind of surprises me right now is the fact that his leading receiver in that game with 3 touchdown catches was Tanner Glock, and he hasn't even gone at Tanner Glock at all today.
Another squib kick, almost mishandled, but able to recover Providence Catholic, as that was a scary play for the Celtics. Curtis Stubbs able to hold on, though, eventually. And it'll be excellent field position here for the Celtics, as they'll mark it at the 35-yard line.
This has been a good football game. Good football game by 2 good football teams that are extremely well coached. You're looking kind of at an historic evening, not just for the fact that it's for the 5A state championship, but because it's on a suspended game played on a Tuesday rather than on a Saturday, and with all kinds of implications, and the kids are playing so well. You can see that they've made a nice adjustment, and that's thanks to their coaching staff.
And now the handoff on the end around. Xavier Coleman trying to turn the corner. May have picked up a yard, possibly 2. They'll say it's a 1-yard pickup, so it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 36. It's Providence now trying to stretch the field every which way.
A lot of changes that had to go on from Saturday night, finding out that the game had been postponed. We'll talk about this later as to where they got to tonight, how they changed their routines.
Now stepping up, waiting for instructions from the sideline is Dominic Vita. And quick out this time. Braden McKay gets across the 40-yard line. Down at the 41, it's a 5-yard pickup.
Getting back to that, I was talking to one of the St. Francis coaches about this. They had to change their whole routine, so we were supposed to play on Saturday, so we found out the game was going to be suspended. So they ended up having the day off on Saturday up north. They practiced on Sunday, and then it turned out to be like in the old days when you used to play a playoff game in the middle of the week, and that's how the coaches went at it. They told them it's kind of a playoff game in the middle of the week. We make the adjustments as far as practice.
And now on the 3rd and 4 possession, it's McKay again. He gets out to about the 44-yard line, so short of a first down. It's going to bring up a 4th and a long 1.
Good job here by the guard kicking out and the trap and the tackle leading up on a little counter play. Come up short, 4th and 1. It'll be interesting to see if they go with the quarterback or the running back here. Or try and get him to come offside with a hard count.
Broden Mackert back into the game in the backfield. It will be Mackert. He may have crawled his way over the top to get the first down. They are going to spot it at the 45.
I think he got the mark. That was really close.
They're having a discussion. Let's see where they spot it. Looks like it's right on the 45-yard line, which would be a first down. And it is. They will call it a first down. So a big play by Mackert, as Broden Mackert gets the handoff. And you see here, he just kind of stays on his feet and leans forward. And I guess his knee did not come down until that ball came down on the 45-yard line.
Well, good surge right there by the defensive front, and a really good effort on Mackert's part, because that very well easily could have been marked short.
So Providence Catholic now 2 for 2 on 4th downs in this contest, and both of them were pretty big. Now with 4 minutes and counting here in the 3rd quarter, already up by 1 point, trying to extend that lead. And here Vita gets to the edge, beats his man, and then scrambles out of bounds inside the 40. So a 15-yard pickup by Dominic Vita.
You got to give credit right there to Broden Mackert, because they're suspecting him to get the ball. And right there, it was just a delay by that outside linebacker, hesitating because he didn't know if he wanted to come down the line of scrimmage flat in pursuit. And all it was 1 step or 2, and outside went Vita on the outside of that with the fake. Good job right there by Dominic Vita. Only a sophomore, but showing senior poise in this state championship game.
So Preston Shipley can't make the tackle, and now it's back to bruising up the middle, and Braden Mogert still running. Finally taken down at the 38-yard line. Make that the 34-yard line.
Getting in behind that big 254-yard, 40-pound offensive line right there. Pretty good surge. And they keep driving, and they're waiting for that whistle. It's not blown, so they keep driving their legs.
Here's Vita again with Mackert in the backfield. Haven't seen much in the passing game of late. This drive's been back to the ground for the Celtics. It's Mackert leaning forward across the 30 before finally being stopped.
We've got a workhorse here coming out. You can see the lineman locking on to people, helmet on helmet, just doing a nice job of running the football and picking up that first down. This is the kind of drive they wanted to have. Run the ball, run that clock.
Peyton Shipley on the stop there. 1st and 10, a new set of downs for Providence Catholic. Now here's Coleman on the end around to the right side. He's got room, staying in bounds and drawing the contact, but not before he gets all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Well, that's the speed that he has, and ironically, it's like going downhill because he can't turn it back up because it really is a slick field, and he's showing that great speed that he has getting out on the outside. He's 6'2", 195. He's on the way to Western Illinois.
17-yard run there. Now back up the middle. It's Vita inside the 5-yard line. He's got Providence Catholic once again on the doorstep. And quickly back to the line of scrimmage, wasting no time. Gives it to Mackert, who dives in and gets the touchdown from 3 yards out. Braden Mackert once again stretches that lead back out to 7. It can be 8 if they knock the extra point through.
Great job by the coaches up in the press box on play calling. Kept a lot of versatility in this drive, and just an outstanding effort by the offensive line and execution by the running backs. Good balance shown on this drive, throwing the ball but running the ball inside, bouncing it to the outside, running a quarterback draw. Just good balance offensively.
So after the touchdown, Providence Catholic, the extra point is up, and it is through. So a 28-20 lead after a 10-play, 65-yard drive that takes up 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Let's take a look back at Black Friday. The 1A and 2A state finals, those contests were not tight. Lena Winslow, a 58-13 win over Brown County. Wilmington over Moreau, Forsyth 42-6. And then things got interesting in 3A. What a game. Byron over Tolono Unity 56-50. And in the 4A state final, Montini continues to impress and continues to dominate. They get a 47-33 win over Rochester. But what a day of football.
It really was, and there's no doubt about how exciting state football championships are being played down at Illinois State. But the way these kids play nowadays, I mean, you look at the offensive lines are just, I mean, they're small at 240. I mean, we're looking at, in the 7 and 8A, these offensive lines are averaging 280 to 290. And then you get the quality of play, the execution. 1A and 2A was, the scores did not show you the kind of football that was being played. It just turned out that Wilmington and Lena Winslow just happened to get some early jumps in scoring, and they were kind of hot that day. But all the teams that played in these games on Friday were just well coached, and it was just a good brand of high school football.
And more of that good football as you're seeing right in front of you today. And of course, immediately following this game, we've got the 6A final between East St. Louis and Fenwick. And then more football tomorrow. Different location, same idea, DeKalb. And then in DeKalb, it'll be the 7A and 8A title games. That one bounces through on the kickoff. Here's Zach Washington trying to get to the edge. Flags come out. I think that one's coming back to where he picked it up.
Yeah, that was a very obvious clip.
So we wait for the officials to size everything up and understand that
he had a long throw with that flag.
During the return,
a 30-yard toss.
Block in the back on the return team, number 17. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
We'll take another look at what transpired. Washington trying to get to the edge, but
pretty obvious. You can see the throw. He winds up. Obviously, he might have been a quarterback. See how he cranked that sucker. Good throw. Very impressive.
So 28-20. Taking a look at the total yards in this game so far. For Providence Catholic, 278 total yards. St. Francis, 262 total yards. But they'll need a few more as they'll start now at their own 10-yard line after that block in the back penalty. Here's Pruitt looking to pass. Pressure coming. Gets it over to Miller.
Nice
He's got it, and he's still running. Still free. Tripped up finally, but not before what looks like a 42-yard pickup from Milivojevic.
This is a good throw right here by Phillip. But really impressive catch. They run after the catch. You know, he's not real big. I mean, he seems like he's got more power, but he's got really elusive speed. He's 5'11", 175, which is not real big nowadays for a big-time wide receiver. He's going to SIU, which plays a great brand of football, but he's very impressive.
Now with the trips right on the side, he'll cut back, though, to the left. Will Pruitt, and he's quickly taken down. Good tackling that time by Declan Dirks to get him maybe a pickup of 2 on the play.
Well, that was a designed quarterback counter the entire way. And based on his yardage as he has had in the first half, he's one of your better runners, obviously, as a quarterback. And they want to make sure that they keep the balance there, because if he throws a big pass like he did, the secondary's playing softer. And oftentimes linebackers say, well, maybe we got to help those defensive backs, and they drop, play a little looser, opens up the running game.
Not much there, though. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. St. Francis down by 8 to Providence Catholic. Another keeper this time, and finding room to run. Still on his feet. Pruitt inside the 20 before finally heading out of bounds at the 20-yard line. A 26-yard pickup for Brock Pruitt as he continues to use his legs.
Good job right here. They have the wingback running and kicking out. He just keeps his footing. I'm amazed at what kind of cleats they must have on, because this turf is still kind of frozen, but these kids are really doing a nice job of keeping their balance. And give you an idea why Brock Phillip is such an outstanding quarterback, because he's just running the ball extremely well and also throwing the ball so effectively.
Explosive play after explosive play. That's a pickup of 26 down to the 15-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Now on the handoff. Caldwell gets tripped up, but not before he falls forward for 5 yards.
Again, that's probably about his 3rd or 4th call running the ball, because Phillip's been so effective running the football. He probably had to take a break and give it to Caldwell, who did a nice job.
See if they get another playoff here. Play clock is off. Only 12 seconds left. But regardless, they are in position to perhaps tie this game up, down by 8. The final seconds running off the clock. And they will get one more play off. Here's Pruitt in trouble. Goes to his left. Spin move inside. Finally gets taken down at the 7-yard line. So when we come back, it will be 3rd and 2. St. Francis trying to even things up with Providence Catholic. 1 quarter to go here in the 5A state title game.
WCIA has been following the story since 2024, when Sonia Massey was shot and killed by a former Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy. The Peoria County Courthouse, we had a presence there all 8 days. There was a impact all across the country. I mean, you had national news outlets covering this. When we say community impact, it really wasn't just in Springfield, just in Champaign, just in our viewing area. It was everywhere. When I was there, I interviewed supporters who stood all 8 days outside of the Peoria County Courthouse.
A personal moment. The moment I shared with Sonia Massey's father, James Wilburn, when I asked him, you know, what he thought Sonia would say if she was still alive today, and I'll never forget his answer.
I love you, Daddy, because that's the way we ended every conversation, be it in person or on the phone, was I love you, Daddy.
I think that really brought a human aspect out of the story to show this wasn't just a person. This was someone's daughter, someone's mother. We really wanted to get to the family, to the friends, to the Springfield community that knew Sonia really well. The story is not over. We have sentencing coming up at the end of January in Sangamon County, where we will learn how long Sean Grayson will be in jail. The Massey family wants to see more done. They want to change the law. Her cousin even said,
I will dedicate my life dismantling the systems that created this problem.
This is a story we're going to be following for months, for years to come, as the Massey family makes sure their voices are not silenced and that their ideas are heard.
A handful of years ago, my husband was ill in the hospital. He has an autoimmune condition that causes a bleeding problem. He needed 7 blood transfusions. The blood really was a key component to getting him well again. If you aren't able to find time in your schedule to give blood, but can maybe help organize a blood drive, I would encourage you to sort of help in any way you can. There is not enough gratitude to express how thankful we are that blood was donated and he was able to get help.
Ashley's Black Friday mattress event.
Welcome back to the 5A state championships at IHSA. One of the most versatile players for the St. Francis team is their do-everything weapon, Dario Miljokovic, who is a wide receiver on this team, closing in on 1,000 receiving yards and 14 touchdowns. You've seen his performance here today. He has done everything. He's referred to as a Swiss Army knife for this team. He's lined up as receiver, stepped in on run plays, even taken snaps at quarterback when needed. Defensively, he might be even more impactful playing corner, and he has faced 2 of the 5 turnovers in their last week semifinals before being able to get to this state championship game, and has done it all for the St. Francis team.
Thank you so much, Kalia. As we get ready for a 3rd and 2 from the 7-yard line to start this 4th quarter, St. Francis trying to answer, down 8 points. They started this drive at their own 9-yard line, but they have flipped the field. And now going forward is Pruitt, staying on his feet into the end zone. And once again, Brock Phillip gets in to score.
Interestingly enough, on that particular play, they made 2 adjustments offensively. They moved the tight end, and then they went in motion, and that entire movement, Providence never moved anybody. They stayed stagnant the whole time. The only one that moved was the safety, slid a little bit with the motion man, but the front and the linebacker stayed exactly the same, so that allowed the running back to get up inside, and the blocking scheme was just what they wanted.
So now they will go for 2 and the tie. Caldwell in the backfield. The pitch. Oh, some trickery. Going back and not looking for it that time was Brock Phillip. And Phillip was the intended receiver on a very Philly special looking play.
And he got spun around a little bit. Watch the top of your screen. He's going out in the flat. You see, he turns the wrong way. He should have kept going the way he was going. He spins around here. Oh, mercy. Wide open. What a... Ay, ay, ay. That's too bad.
So the 2-point conversion is no good. Getting consoled on the sideline. He's very upset, is Brock Phillip, and understandably so.
Here's where your coach turns into a guidance counselor, making sure that he realizes that there's still almost 12 minutes left in this ball game, and they'll get more opportunities. You can't let yourself get down and let the rest of your teammates down.
312 yards of total offense for Brock Phillip. 4 touchdowns.
And that could be the play that could describe him, you know, by some people at the end of the ball game, which it shouldn't.
That 4th quarter touchdown brought to you by SIU Carbondale. Say yes to SIU. And certainly,
I said yes to SIU.
And it has produced a fine career.
Well, they said, we'll get back to you. They finally did. after I exhausted the rest of the enrollment. Great school. Carbondale, great area.
So the kickoff, the back and to receive is Carter. Carter now looking to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped inside the 20-yard line by a host of blue jerseys.
Second by 17, Alex Taylor.
Good job of coverage here. This is a time when, in the past, they were pooching the ball down the middle, and here they're saying, okay, we're going to give you a shot at going deep. And what it did, it transpired to give Providence not real good field position, which they've had on most special team plays.
Alex Taylor on the open field tackle there to bring down Carter. And now 1st and 10 situation, Providence Catholic, if they can score here, another touchdown, they can make this now a 2-possession game. Now the handoff. Who else? But Broden Mackert, excuse me, on the carry. On that play, gets out to about the 20-yard line.
That's a win for St. Francis, because if they can hold Providence down to less than 4 yards on first down, it's a win, because that's what they want to do, is run this clock and run that football. First down's so crucial to both these teams on their initial play, because they like to run the ball.
2nd and 9 now after a yard pickup. Clock continues to run.
Wide open.
Looking for a wide open receiver, had him, but unable to connect that time. Dominic Vita had his man, Joey Levy, who normally wears number 44, but today wearing number 6 in honor of Zach Plants.
He actually had 2 people open. He had 82. Ben Coleman, the big 6'4", 240-pound sophomore tight end, open also. So St. Francis is playing the run. It wasn't playing pass defense very well there.
So now a big 3rd and 9. A huge opportunity for St. Francis to get off the field. Vita looking long. Contested throw, broken up. Great defense that time by Dylan Liner to break up that pass.
Big stop by St. Francis.
That'll cause a 4th down and a punt situation upcoming.
I kind of think that there was 2 routes that weren't supposed to be that way, because they brought an extra defender over. But a fairly decent throw, but what a big stop by St. Francis. Now they're going to force Providence to punt, and they should, if they handle the ball, get decent field position here with 11 minutes left on the clock.
So Curtis Stubbs unable to hang on to that one. Good defense by St. Francis. They force the punt. It's a low snap. It does get it off, calling for a fair catch, but then letting it bounce.
Oh, you can't do that.
And a long.
He downed it back there. Look out. Ooh-wee.
Going back inside the 5-yard line, they're saying the punter did not get that off.
Well, I think what they're saying is that in order to block the bad snap, he dropped his knee. Let's see. Yep. In order to block the ball from going in the end zone, this is in a kind of an old baseball background. He dropped his knee to keep the ball in front of him. Wow, what a turnover for St. Francis. Going to be getting the ball in great position.
Could be a crucial play as St. Francis is now in the red zone. We're back after this.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you can go from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of Salukis. Capture this moment and go forward together.
Save big on Dutch Boy Paint when you shop at Menards. Durafighter Interior Paint is a paint and primer in one that provides great scrub resistance and durability. Get a gallon starting at $24.97 after $5 rebate. Pristine Interior Paint and Primer in one is Dutch Boy's best hiding and most durable paint. It delivers a smooth, elegant finish while providing maximum scuff, stain, and mark resistance. A gallon starts at $45.98 after $10 rebate.
We're back with the defensive play of the game, brought to you by Union Carpenters and Contractors, partners in building communities and supporting working families. Dylan Liner getting in there, making sure that Curtis Stubbs can't hang on. Just a great display of defense.
And forces a punt, and that punt obviously was down, and all of a sudden now St. Francis is back in the ball game, and here's where that coach who kind of counseled the quarterback comes in and says, here's your chance now.
Bryce Vlasic taking a knee at the 4-yard line. So now on 1st and goal from the 4, it's Caldwell. He slides ahead, maybe gets a couple, but he's brought down that time by Anthony Iaquinta. So not much of a gain there. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3.
Nice job by the defensive front of getting across the ball. But again, this is tough for both the offense and defensive line to get traction here. You know, you're talking about trying to get traction on an ice skating pond. So it's who initially gets off and maybe who has bigger spikes or better spikes.
So now on 2nd and goal from the 3, it'll be Phillip trying to bust ahead. See where they spot him. It's going to be just short. As the official comes in from the side, he'll be inside the 1-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 1.
2 downs to make a yard.
Clock continues to run under 10 minutes. Take another look.
Right there's your backside pursuit. They've been doing that all day long, coming down flat on the line of scrimmage. John Fife, number 25, great play, 5'11", 175-pound junior. That's a big play, especially coming from the backside. And one of the reasons for that is because of the depth of the quarterback. He'd been under center. He couldn't have made that play by the backside.
Now again, Phillip ahead and through. Brock Phillip has given St. Francis the lead. This touchdown in the 4th quarter brought to you by SIU Carbondale. Say yes to SIU, just like Jack McInerney did.
And then Carbondale said to me, are you sure? They weren't sure.
But you were resolute.
Oh, was I ever?
Take another look at this touchdown, and Brock Phillip has been doing this all day long.
He's been doing it, but that offensive line, look where they're at. They're in the end zone, and that's what you got to do. And you know, you give credit to Anderson and Hill and Jeffries and Torres and Ruberno going for 2. Coach is down there trying to get them to.
And now a flag comes out. Too many men in the huddle, I believe.
I think he might have got a timeout.
Red ball, illegal substitution on the offense.
So that is a big play here as they look to go for 2. Try to stretch this out to a 6-point lead.
Well, it's not as bad because it gives them a little more room. Down here, it's a little tough. You know, those throws in the corner, that is a tremendous timing route. I mean, the quarterback, because he's 7 yards deep, the receiver's already at the line of scrimmage. He's deep before the quarterback even gets the ball, so that's a tough throw.
So here's Brock Phillip operating now. Has to get rid of it quickly, and no chance that time on the throw for James McGrath. Off target as they brought the pressure. Milivojevic and company cannot convert the 2-point conversion, but still a 4-point lead.
Pretty good coverage right there. What this does, it gives St. Francis the opportunity to say, look at now, Providence is going to have to go for a touchdown. A field goal is not going to tie us. And with 9.5 left, both of these teams still got a lot of opportunities to handle the football offensively.
So now 7 possessions for St. Francis. They started this game at a touchdown, a punt, a touchdown, and then, of course, they ended the first half with the ball in their hands. Since halftime, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. The offense we promised people at the top of this broadcast, it has come to fruition.
It really has, and what's come to fruition also is Brock Phillip as a dual threat. You know, we talked about, well, they got to get somebody else to run the football, but you know what? They don't need to because he's doing so well at running the football. You saw in those stats how effective he's been in this ball game thus far. You know, you can see, based on the fact that he has 42 touchdowns coming into this game, both passing and running the football, gives you an idea how he got those, based on how he throws the ball and how he runs the ball.
Evan Kalinsky now on the kickoff and back to receive is Carter, looking for some space out to the 35 before finally taken down the 37-yard line.
Not bad field position right now for Providence.
So Isaac Patton brings it out, and they'll have 1st and 10 from the 37. Will the Celtics? They had led most of this game before a special teams gaffe turned the ball over at their own 4-yard line. Brock Phillip wasting no time punching it in, and now they find themselves down by 4 points with just over 9 minutes to play in the 5A state championship game. Broden Macker pushed back.
Big play on 1st down. Negating anything. No yardage at all. That's a crucial. And that's what St. Francis did on the last series of Providence. On 1st down, they stopped them. And now that changes exactly what you got to do with the game plan.
So now they will go to an empty backfield look. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Dominic Vita looking to go to work. He's got time. Now looking to slide through, but access denied. Cooper Hawkstus comes up with the stop.
He comes up to the stop, and you give him a half credit for that sack. You give the other half credit to the defensive secondary that forced him to hold on to the football that long. They did a nice job of locking down the receivers deep.
That is a loss of 1 on the play, 3rd and 11, and now all of a sudden Providence Catholic in some trouble. We go under 8 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Celtics down by 4, 3rd and 11. Quick strike, connected. On his way, trying to break a tackle is D'Angelo Coates. He gets out to the 50-yard line, enough for the 1st down, and a big-time play for Dominic Vita. It's a 14-yard pickup.
Providence has had that play twice in this ball game where they've been behind the chains, and St. Francis has not been able to stop them on that 3rd and long, and they've picked it up in crucial situations.
Here's Vita, handoff. McKay, he gets across the 50, but picks up just 1 before being taken down. McGrath on the tackle.
McKay limping off the field here.
And he was limping earlier.
Yeah.
So he's been dealing with something all game long. It's like his lower leg is bothered. 2nd and 9 from the 49. Lots of time coming off the clock. We cross over the 7-minute mark now here in the 4th quarter. St. Francis trying to hold on to a 4-point lead.
See the adjustments. If there are any adjustments being made on the movement, not much.
Now off the play action, they'll send one deep. Looking for his man and reeled in. What a catch by Xavier Coleman all the way down to the 11-yard line.
He has been a big play receiver. Good throw again, putting the ball right on the money by the sophomore quarterback, but just an excellent job. The coverage was not that bad, but just great concentration right there. Now Providence is knocking on the door again.
Flag comes out. 38-yard pickup that time by Xavier Coleman, the 6'2", 195-pound senior. All-state and Shawnee wide.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Take another look at this. Over the top.
He just winds up and cranks that down the field, and Coleman just does a nice job of gathering it in. Great concentration, as we said. Usually the coverage is not that bad when the tackle is made immediately. When he catches and continues running, that's poor coverage.
And now on the give, looking for room and has it. Can he bowl his way over? Taken down at the 1-yard line that time is Broden Macker.
What a nice job on the left side of that offensive line with that counter.
And back up quickly to the line of scrimmage is Providence Catholic after the gain of 15 by Mackert. Now, holding on to it, sliding in. It's a touchdown, and retaking the lead is Dominic Vita and Providence Catholic. This fourth quarter touchdown brought to you by SIU Carbondale. Say yes to SIU. So another play, another playmaker stepping up. This time, it's Broden Mackert and Dominic Vita combining to get down the field with Xavier Coleman mixed in as well. 7 plays, 63 yards, 2:59 off the clock.
They've been a nice combination this entire game. Vita playing off of Mackert's success running the football, and they close in on Mackert, and all of a sudden Dominic Vita pulls the ball out. He makes big plays and big runs.
So St. Francis had the lead, but then it was taken away. Broden Mackert getting them down to the 1, and then Dominic Vita punching it in for the Celtics. Providence Catholic 6 minutes, 16 seconds away from a 5A title.
This is the run my own business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned.
Generation Lead, empowering athletes, inspiring leaders. For more information, visit generationlead.org.
The IHSA Football State Finals are presented to you in part by Country Financial. Worry less and feel more confident with insurance designed to meet your specific needs. Visit countryfinancial.com to experience more today.
Back here at the 5A state championship game, Providence Catholic a 35-32 lead over St. Francis. And this one has been a couple of heavyweights. Neither one wanting to relinquish their opportunity to win a state championship. Marshall Harris, Jack McInerney, Kalia Butler with you here from Normal, where the snow has been cleared. And both these offenses are red hot here in the second half.
Now, when they played each other the first time, you know what the score was in that 5th ball game? Providence scored 35 points, and that's what they have on the board right now. And, of course, St. Francis won that game because they scored 47. We can't get much closer than what we're looking at right now at a little over 6 minutes left. So it'll be interesting to see what St. Francis does. Key will be right here, special teams. Where are they going to give St. Francis the football?
And special teams has been a big story in this one. We saw Bryce Vlasic, who's handling kickoff duties here, accidentally take a knee on a low snap on a punt. That gave St. Francis its 4-yard possession in which they took the lead. And then, of course, and this one's a squib kick right up the middle, coming up to get it. And now looking for a return, trying to turn the corner, still on his feet, and finally taken down at about the 38-yard line for St. Francis is Tanner Glock. And this one's been all about the big plays. I talk about the special teams missteps, if you will. But Providence, listen to this, Jack. 3 plays of 20-plus yards in the passing game, 6 plays of 15-plus yards in the running game. St. Francis, 3 plays of 40-plus in the passing game and 2 25-yard-plus rushing plays. So both these teams capable of explosive plays, and we come out trips left here for Brock Phillip as he tries to get St. Francis back on top. Just over 6 minutes of play, evades pressure, looking to go deep, and that's well overthrown as Milivojevic had stopped running.
Well, you know what I think ironic, what is very ironic about that stat that you just read is the fact that during the regular season, both these teams averaged only 34 points a game. But yet tonight, they're both putting on something, quite a display in the scoreboard. But besides the score average, the statistics as far as what they're doing offensively is way more dramatic than what they have done during the regular season.
And the question now is, time continues to run off the clock. We've seen the kicking game be erratic at best, as a way to describe for St. Francis. They're down a field goal, but you'd have to be pretty close. And I don't even know if you would trust your kicking game then, as a miscommunication on a route there from Zach Washington. That throw was to no one in particular.
Well, right now they got 3rd and 10, and this is not a situation that they certainly want to be in at this stage in the ball game. He's thrown to a spot, and the receiver ran the wrong route. He ran an in. He's supposed to run it out. And that was a timing route because that was the directed distance of the first down marker.
Now coming to the line on a 3rd and 10. Just under 6 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. From their own 38-yard line. Here's Phillip. No one back with them, and I think they're going to get Zach Washington. Or no, a timeout. Washington shifted there right before the snap.
And he might have got a flag on that had the coach been not, Bob McMillan, been right on top of it and called him timeout. That would have been a 5-yard penalty, which they certainly could not afford at this stage of the ball game.
So 3rd and 10, 5:56 left. Providence Catholic thinking, if we can just get the ball back, we can end this. Meanwhile, if you're St. Francis, as I said, they're down a field goal, but it feels like they need a touchdown, because the field goal would be a coin flip at this point.
It really would be. And at this stage right now, because St. Francis has been so effective really throwing the football, the advantage is tremendous for St. Francis because they got a running quarterback. And he's been the leading rusher for St. Francis. Now you got him handling the football, either going to run it or throw it. And the way they're looking at 3rd and 10, you're going to see a softer coverage, and the linebacker's probably dropping off to help. Maybe we're going to look at a quarterback draw here.
Evan Kalinsky, by the way, he's hit from as long as 46. He can't hit from 50.
There it is, quarterback draw.
The quarterback takes off, slips, slides, a tackle, falls ahead out to the 48-yard line. We'll see if they give him the first down. It looks like it is a first down. They will move the chains. And as you said, Brock Phillip with his legs getting the job done.
Taking advantage of the scenario that they needed. They actually, what helped them was to have long yardage, because that forced the Celtics to play a little softer from the standpoint of the run, play more pass, and that gave the opportunity for Brock Phillip to run the quarterback draw, basically.
And now a player gets hurt running onto the field. I'm not sure if that's a cramp, but that's Brock Phillip.
Officials timeout for an injury. Officials timeout for an injury.
He was running back after getting the play in, and he took a few steps and then just crumpled over. Watch this. And then,
that's
a cramp.
That's
calf.
I had that coming up the spiral staircase to get up in the press box here.
But you know what? You made the climb to Mount Everest.
I did, but thanks for dragging me up.
Yes, and this is a big play here, because first of all, they need Brock Phillip. That's first and foremost. He has been their offense. Over 300 yards of total offense. And you just saw on that 3rd down conversion with his legs just how valuable he's been to this team.
Well, coming into this game, he's averaged 237 yards of total offense. That's both throwing the ball and running the football. So that's a lot of yardage on the shoulders of a quarterback, and he's certainly lived up to that today. It's a good shot of Bob McMillan right there, who's kind of can't believe this is happening to us right now, having your quarterback go down. Bob's done a great job at St. Francis over his 9 years, got an excellent staff with him. And if you look at the coaching staff, which we talked about downstairs when we were having our little meeting, half of the coaching staff looks like the roster of the team. He's got more dads and uncles coaching players that are relatives on this team than anything I've ever seen. Well, I hope they can hydrate him quickly, because those stats are hard to sub for. You can't bring somebody else in to sub for those stats with 5:50 left on the clock.
He's got 326 yards of total offense. He scored all 5 of the touchdowns. Back to the special teams conversation as we look at
Nothing's going to be
comes
fancy
off the
here.
field here. And it's a handoff and getting some room to run and finally tripped up that time by Anthony Iaquinta was Caldwell. But a nice play from Caldwell there on first down. That'll make it 2nd and 2 after he picks up 8.
Nice job of just running the counter, cutting back. He goes in one direction, which forces the linebackers to slide. Then he cuts back. How he kept his footing on that particular play. Now he kind of limps off the field. So all of a sudden now they're getting either cramps or it can't be exhaustion, because that's only about the 4th or 5th carry that Caldwell's had.
Under 5 minutes to play. It's been Dario Milivojevic. That quarterback, and now someone jumps up front. Let's see. That's going to be against the offense. That'll take it way back. Make it a 2nd 7.
False start on the offense. Number 70. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Wow. You get the left tackle, Matt Anderson, for the false start.
So 2nd and 3 turns into 2nd and 7 with under 5 minutes left in the ball game. That's a big penalty.
This drive feels big, and here comes Brock Phillip back into the game.
And you can bet that St. Francis and Bob McMillan does not want to give the ball back to Providence based on how they've been so effective offensively.
2nd and 7 from the 48. Phillip back to pass, taking a shot for Washington again. He's got his man beat. Can he hold on? Can't get there. Washington had Anthony Carter and Blake Garrigan beat. Both the safety and the corner on him, but just couldn't quite get around the corner. Goes right through his arms.
Now you back up a little bit. If that same play had been done on 2nd and 2 as opposed to 2nd and 7, it would have been a whole different coverage look right there. That would have been the play that they could have ran on 2nd and 2, because they knew they could come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. So that penalty was very, very big.
So now 4:24 remaining in this game. It is a 3rd and 7. And now more movement up front from the left side. A couple of guys jumping.
False start on the offense.
This shouldn't happen at this stage in your 14th game of the year. These kind of penalties should not be happening. I understand that the offensive linemen are anxious to get into pass coverage, but this is not good to have this happen. Now, initially, you might think, well, are the defensive linemen making some calls verbally, or are they shifting to draw them off? I didn't see any shifting. I didn't hear anything verbally up here.
Now the momentum is with that defensive line. 3rd and 12 from the 47. Here comes the pressure. Sidestepping one man. Flag in the back. Incomplete pass down the field. Looks like a holding call, perhaps. And that's where the area of that penalty is. And we have a man down also in the backfield.
Holding number 77 on the offense.
That's Torian Jeffries, the center, who is down for St. Francis.
You can see the takedown right there.
They're going to decline that penalty, by the way.
What a time to have breakdowns offensively to be in this situation here.
So now a tough decision here for Bob McMillan. He's got to figure out what to do about his center, as we see backing him up and warming up right now. It's Frankie McMillan.
You know, we talked about all the relatives that are on the coaching staff for St. Francis. One of the interesting stories is the safety is Jimmy McGrath. Well, his dad is coaching Mike McGrath, and his dad, Mike McGrath, was played on this field 32 years ago. Played in the state championship game against Loyola when he was at Downer South and lost 7-0. Now his dad Mike is the defensive coordinator, or defensive coach, along with Gerard Culver from Downers Grove South, that played at Missouri, and Mike was an all Big Ten safety at Indiana, and ironically, his uncle was also an All-State and All-American safety at Western Kentucky. So you talk about family tree, and the grandfather was an All-State player at Joliet Catholic. So, I mean, the McGraths are nothing but football players all over the family.
It looks like Matt Anderson is going to shift from left tackle now to center here on 4th and 12. This could be the game with 4:16 left to play. Here comes the pressure. Oh, finding his man open for the first down. Wow. Is Brock Phillip as he connects with James McGrath for a huge pickup, and he was wide open.
Yeah, I was going to say, how can you be that wide open? And how did he know we were just talking about him?
21-yard pickup for James McGrath.
Plays safety on defense. He's also one heck of a baseball player, and here he comes in on an offense and makes the big play, and maybe the big play for the state championship on that big first down that they needed.
So now play clock down to 6 seconds, and a timeout's going to be taken because I don't think they were going to have enough time to get a play off. So with 3:39 left, St. Francis calls a timeout.
Timeout. Wheaton St. Francis.
So they will talk things over as we look at what the weather's doing right now.
You know, we got to give credit again. We did this in the beginning, but we got to give an awful lot of credit to the grounds crew at Illinois State for getting this field ready for this championship day. They've done a great job, and along with the administration at Illinois State, and of course the IHSA working in conjunction with them to allow this game to be played here on a Tuesday night after a historic substitution of when the championship game was to be played last Saturday. Here we're playing on a Tuesday evening.
So now 3:42 remaining. This game delayed, of course, from Saturday when it was originally scheduled to be played. It has been well worth the wait. For those waiting to see how this one would shake down, again, these two teams faced off back on September 26th, week 5 at the time. St. Francis walked away with a 47-35 win over Providence Catholic. And now St. Francis trying to retake the lead with under 4 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Down by 3. Following his blockers, getting down inside the 30 is Phillip. So Brock Phillip gets down to the 26-yard line. Pickup of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Boy, they're sure lucky they got him back after that cramp deal. But, you know, you look at the time on the clock and where they're at. It's really interesting that they were able to pick up that big 4th and 10 or 12 yard, and how open he was. And what a great job of poise by Phillip making that throw. A lot of quarterbacks at the high school level would panic knowing it's 4th and 12, could be the state championship, and they panic and they try to run or whatever. He showed the poise, sat in the pocket, made the big throw.
Here's Caldwell looking for a crack. He'll fall forward for a few more yards.
Could be a first down. Yep.
It will be a first down.
Offensive line doing a good job up front when it comes to run blocking. Just kicking out, getting up on the linebackers. Caldwell showing some good leg drive there. 215-pound junior. So he's got some weight behind him.
Colin Shedwell was right there, but just couldn't get around that blocker, his linebacker spot. So now 1st and 10. Clock continues to run, Jack. And now it feels like this might be the last possession that St. Francis gets. Now another handoff to Caldwell. Again, leaning forward. Takes it down to the 20-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup.
They don't want to give the ball back to Providence too quickly, obviously. They're going to try and run the ball down there and maybe even lull Providence into this run game, and then all of a sudden pop them with a play-action pass where somebody is wide open. Try and squeeze that safeties down inside, trying to help them with the run game, and then you run somebody right past them on a post route.
I do want to point out Evan Kalinsky coming into this game, 48 of 51 on extra points. So he missed 3 extra points. He is 0 for today on a couple of extra point attempts. They're 1 for 5 after the touchdown with a 2-point conversion. And now leaning forward again on another run on 2nd and 7. Not quite there. It'll be 3rd down.
This is where the offensive line kind of redeems themselves from those offsides that push them so far back with that crucial 4th and long situation. If they can keep running that football, you know, you're in 2-down territory right now. This is crucial for that offensive line to sustain their blocks.
So 3rd and 3 on the 16. Looked like a defensive lineman may have jumped, but no call. Instead, up ahead, it's Phillip. He'll spin forward and get down to what looks like the 12-yard line. It looks like a 1st down. Let's see where they spot it, though.
Yep, they gave it to him.
It will be a 1st down. So a lot of action going on between the tackles right now.
And all it is a power play where you see the lead back leading up into the hole. The linemen try to kick out, and that back leads him up. So it's just like a quarterback lead or quarterback power. That lead back is trying to get up on that linebacker.
Under a minute to play now as the time just continues to come off the clock. This is the 13th play of the drive out of the shotgun. Empty backfield. Phillip, pressure coming. Eludes one tackler. Heading to the end zone. Gets dropped. At the 1-yard line. The clock continues to run in a moment. But right now there's going to be 34 seconds to play. And they're down to the 1-yard line. Now the clock is back to running after the movement of the chains. It's 1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
I can't believe that he didn't pop that ball loose with that hit. What a hit that was on the quarterback. Wow.
Timeout taken by Providence Catholic.
This is a great job here of coverage. And then he just says, I'm going to run with the ball because I'm the best running back on our team. But you can see the pop right there. Give him credit for hanging on to the football, because I dropped my charts up here when he got hit. Watch this pop. Wow.
Big time hit by Declan Dirks. But unfazed was Phillip. Takes a shot, pops right back up. So this is the crux of the game right here. 27 seconds remaining. 1st and goal from the 1. A reminder, the Spartans.
Ooh, that's an extra play almost.
So 3 extra seconds on the clock. Here's the rub, though. The Spartans only have 1 timeout left. So St. Francis can only stop the clock on their own 1 time.
Well, and the thing is, you don't often see them, or I don't think we have this entire game come under center. And the problem with that is they made the adjustment of moving that tackle to center because the center got hurt. So you're talking about a whole nother scenario right there if they end up putting him under center for a quarterback sneak.
Now the good news is Torian Jeffries, the center, is back in the game. Their starting center. Here we go. 1st and goal from the 1. It's Phillip. Stacked up. He's not going to get there. A host of white jerseys come up and stop him. And a timeout's going to be called with 20 seconds left. That's the final timeout for St. Francis.
Right now, Coach McMillan is going to call 2 plays. Now, one of the things is, see, you can't down the ball from the spread formation. You got to be under center to do that. And they're trying to, again, run quarterback power here, but just great penetration on the backside by big Dominic Infeliz, number 49, 6'4", 275-pounder, came flat down the line of scrimmage and made the play from behind. I mean, there's been some just sound, fundamental football plays being made by both offense and defensive people.
What a conclusion to this game, one way or another. Celtics trying to hold on to a 3-point lead and avenge a regular season loss to St. Francis and walk away with a state title. But St. Francis has it at the 1-yard line on 2nd and goal. They're now out of timeouts, are the Spartans. So this could be the last play of the game, depending on how quickly they can run it and get back to the line of scrimmage if they can't score here.
Well, they're trying to spread everybody out, obviously, for the quarterback, but the thing is, inside the tackles is where the play is going to be made. And that's going to be up to the offensive lineman to make a surge here.
Empty backfield. Phillip looking to throw it. Now puts it down, fumbles it, fumbles it out of the end zone. Flag out on the play. Let's find out what the flag is for. But if you fumble out of the end zone, that should be a touchback.
Did he fumble it or throw it out?
And the officials are discussing it. Providence Catholic has a player down injured. Bob McMillan trying to figure out what's going on as well. And they're discussing whether or not it is a touchback on a fumble or a pass that was incomplete.
The way the ball went flying forward. Yeah, see, now what could happen right here is he can get intentional grounding. I mean, that could be the call. That's loss of down.
So now they're discussing it.
I think that's what the call's going to be.
That seems like that's what the call should be.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, cramping up on the play is Anthony Mautone.
I don't think it's going to be a fumble. I think it's going to be an incomplete pass or intentional grounding.
There is no foul for intentional grounding.
Yeah, that's an incomplete pass, but it looked like, I don't know where the receiver was, but
so they're saying it was a forward pass, but it's not intentional grounding.
But the thing is,
because he was outside of
the box, there's no receivers over there.
And he got it past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
so.
okay.
So now we have a situation, 17 seconds left.
You'll hear about this play for a long time.
Third and goal from the 1. Again, empty backfield for Brock Phillip. And now a timeout's going to be taken by Providence Catholic.
Timeout, Providence Catholic.
That's their second charge timeout. And Jack, let's talk about this situation right now. Third and goal from the 1, 17 seconds left. You know the offense has no timeouts. What kind of conversations are you having if you're Providence Catholic?
Well, what you're talking about here is they have 2 downs, really. It's third down. They spread them out like this with 17 seconds left. If they run the ball, there's a chance that they might not get in there, even though it's 1 yard, and the clock is going to be running. They spread them out, and they throw a pass. They've got 2 plays left because one pass play is not going to take 17 seconds. A run play shouldn't either, but they don't have any timeouts if they don't make it on that run.
So getting back to the line of scrimmage on a rush attempt.
Be tough.
That's where you're rolling the dice.
Absolutely.
The odds are not in your favor in this situation because, these kids are being coached. If it is a running play, lay on them. Take your time getting up.
Right. Get to know them. Have a, get an autograph. Do something. But don't let them get up too soon to get to that huddle.
So 17 seconds remaining. This one has lived up to the billing between Providence Catholic and St. Francis. St. Francis and their do-it-all quarterback, Brock Phillip, who already has over 200 yards passing, over 100 yards rushing. He is back to pass, goes over the top. Looks like could have been a penalty there, but instead, no call. And Milivojevic can't come up with it. The coverage that time by Gavin Farley.
Well, that's what I just talked about. Now they've got, that stopped the clock, obviously. Now it's fourth and 2.
There you saw Anthony Iaquinta kind of holding on to the back of Milivojevic. But we're down to the last chance here, barring a penalty for St. Francis.
I got to think they're going to try and run it in here. The quarterback's been effective the whole game.
Here's Phillip. He is trying to run it in. He does get in. And with 11 seconds left, St. Francis goes on top. This fourth quarter touchdown is brought to you by SIU Carbondale. Say yes to SIU. And Brock Phillip has a 6-pack of touchdowns on the day.
We have had a great football game here. What a great job by that offensive line. That surge was just amazing. You can see the push right there by Matt Anderson, Brady Hill, Torrin Jeffries, Jalen Torres, and Matty Ruberno. What a great job of the offensive line, and then a great job by Brook Phillip getting in behind him. And who should be the winning touchdown but the guy that's taken him through the whole ball game, running and passing the ball game.
And finally, Evan Kolinsky does knock the extra point through. That's good because it makes it a 4-point game with 11 seconds left. St. Francis is out front 39-35 after a 17-play, 62-yard drive that took 5 minutes and 59 seconds off the clock, culminating with 4 plays from the 1-yard line. And, of course, Brock Phillip punches it through on 4th and goal from the 1.
And actually, the biggest play that they had was when they had 2 penalties where they were down and they had 3rd and 2, and they got 2 offside penalties by offensive linemen, and then they're back and they're sitting looking at 4th and about 12, and it's like, okay, it looks like Providence has got the game in hand, and all of a sudden they bring a sub in, Jimmy McGrath, who hasn't played the whole ball game except on defense, and they run a pass route, and he's wide open for the big first down. From there, they go in, had some exciting plays down inside the 5, and finally punch it in. We've had a lot of excitement in this one.
Of course, James McGrath able to play both ways. As I said, a handful of players playing both ways, 5 or 6 guys for St. Francis. Meanwhile, Providence Catholic head coach Tyler Plant says, we believe in dirty jerseys, so they don't play players both ways. But we see how valuable a guy can be in a situation like that for St. Francis.
No doubt about it, but I'm just really impressed with both of these teams. You know, the outcome right now, you kind of think it's going to be in St. Francis' direction, and that'll be the 2nd win over Providence this year. But I've been very impressed with Providence Catholic, the kids, the mechanics, how well they're coached, and the same with St. Francis.
This one is picked up and taken down. Valuable time off the clock. And Isaac Patton gets taken down at the 33-yard line, and there will only be 6 seconds left. So one last Hail Mary, if you will, between these two schools.
And ironically, Marshall, it's been 3 years that St. Francis have been in the semifinals. And they finally broke through this year to get to the state championship game. And it looks like it might be a big breakthrough for them, since 2008 is when they won their last 5A state title. Greg Purnell was the coach then. Now here they are sitting on the pedestal waiting for 6 seconds to be the next state champion for St. Francis.
So presumably the last play for Dominic Vita. Pressured, rolling to his right, looking to go deep. He'll throw it up, and it's caught and intercepted by Zach Washington, and that will end the ball game. St. Francis, a 39-35 winner in a thriller to take the IHSA 5A state championship game.
Great football game. 2 really outstanding football teams. What a fun game to watch.
A back-and-forth affair as Bob McMillan, his goal was to turn St. Francis into a football school. This is just the 2nd time the Spartans have been in the title game. They are now 2-0. They won it in 2008, and they've come back to win it all in 2025. We'll take a timeout. We'll wrap things up. St. Francis, a 39-35 winner over Providence Catholic to win it all.
The IHSA Football State Finals are brought to you in part by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs. And by SIU Carbondale. Say yes to SIU.
Save big with these hot deals at Menards. All fresh-cut Christmas trees are on sale starting at just $29.99. Lined performance work gloves are only $4.99 after rebate. Get a 16-piece glass food storage set for just $9.97 after rebate. A 5-tier shelving unit, only $24.99 after rebate. Hurry, these great deals won't last long. Sign up for Menards emails to get the weekly flyer plus exclusive daily flash sales right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you can go from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of Salukis. Capture this moment and go forward together.
Attention high school students. If you're tired of hearing the same old college debt story, we've got an exciting alternative for you. Join the Mid-America Carpenters Union and let your career dreams take flight. You can earn great pay, enjoy no-cost health insurance, and secure a stable retirement, all with no college debt and an elite career that's here to stay. It's time to build your future your way. Ready to carve your path to success? Contact the Mid-America Carpenters Union today to learn how you can unleash your potential.
I'm a proud man. So asking my son to help me bathe, that was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Walk-in tubs give you independence and peace of mind with low step-in doors, slip-resistant floors, soothing hydrotherapy jets, and fast-drain technology.
Now I don't need anybody's help. I've got my dignity back.
1-833-304-0361. 1-833-304-0361.
Back here in Normal, Illinois, where St. Francis has won the 5A state championship game. The final score brought to you by Delta Dental of Illinois. 39-35, the Spartans hold on to beat the Providence Catholic Celtics. Let's go downstairs to Kalia Butler, who's got the player of the game. That would be Brock Phillip.
Brock, you just had a cheer team right there for you. You were the star of the show today alongside your teammates. What does this state championship title mean to you?
It means a lot. I've been dreaming this since I started playing football in 4th grade. A lot of emotions going on right now. I couldn't be more happier for my team, my coaches. Thank God. And everything like that. I'm so blessed to be out here.
That final touchdown of the game within the last 30 seconds to seal the deal. Walk me through what you saw there.
I don't know. We gave it up to our line. We knew they could get it done. They've been getting it done all year. And I just couldn't be happier.
What fight did this team show today?
Everything they got in us. Everything we have in us, we showed it. We came down. We were having an all right half, but we knew we needed to step up, and that's what we did.
Brock, thank you so much. Congrats.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Coach, we saw you embrace Brock right after this. Talk to me a little bit about your relationship with him.
Just, it was a godsend for this kid to come to us in the summertime. And just the way the competitor is. He's been a competitor all season long. He's always wanted the football in tough situations and game time situations. And I couldn't be more proud of that kid. And this football team right now, down 7 points at halftime, we kept fighting, and we were able to come out with a victory.
I saw you wiping the tears away a little bit. I know you're trying to stay strong for everyone, but how important was this win for you today?
This is huge for the St. Francis community, St. Francis school. It's been a long time since the boys football team was able to win a state championship, and I'm so proud of this football team, these seniors, these freshmen. It's just been an unbelievable ride, and I'm happy to be a part of St. Francis, and I'm so excited for the school.
Congratulations, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kalia. Let's now take a look at our player of the game, brought to you by Country Financial. Visit countryfinancial.com to experience more today. Is there any surprise? It's Brock Phillip. 370 total yards, 14 of 25, 226 yards passing and a touchdown through the air, 23 rushes, 144 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the ground, including the game winner. 370 total yards, 6 touchdowns. Brock Phillip, the player of the game, brought to you by Country Financial. And now we wait for the award ceremony as both these teams do go home with a trophy. Providence Catholic, they get a second-place trophy. What an effort by the Celtics today.
They just had a great ball game, and it just turned out that St. Francis had a better ball game. And part of it obviously was the quarterback, who was the catalyst of the entire offense. And there were situations where they had to make comebacks to win this title, and they certainly did have the poise and fortitude to do it.
You take a look at the Celtics and understand that with such a young team, when you talk about Dominic Vita, a sophomore, when you talk about Broden Mackert, a junior, they've got guys who you feel like will be in the mix to be right back here a year from today.
No surprise, no doubt about it. I think Tyler Plants has done a tremendous job here as the head coach in his last several years. And you know, they're, as you said, they're young. They play a very tough schedule, and that's part of how they get there. You know, to get to this point, you've got to play a tough schedule because the competition is so important to make you get better week in and week out, and that's what both of these teams did. They had really difficult schedules, and of course, you play in the Catholic League, and just by whoever you play in the Catholic League is like a playoff team.
So there you see they have their second place trophy. Providence Catholic celebrating a trip to the state championship game, coming up just short in their 15th title game, now 10-4 all time in state championship games. Their last title back in 2014 in 7A. Meanwhile, for St. Francis, maybe the start of something special here. Again, Bob McMillan in his 5th season as the head coach. They had been to, as you pointed out before, Jack, 3 straight semifinals, and now they had a quarterback in Brock Phillip who was brand new this year and working with a first-year offensive coordinator in Lonnie Stair. But look what they have whipped up in year number 1 here in 5A.
Well, and it's nice to be the offensive coordinator and have a quarterback like him. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are really good offensive coordinators, but they don't have the kind of quarterback that has the versatility that you saw today in this quarterback, who has, you know, ends up with almost 400 yards of total offense. That's a pretty special kid to work with.
So Brock Phillip able to get the job done, get his team across the finish line for a state championship, although they waited late to make it happen, scoring the game-winning touchdown with just 11 seconds left on the clock. It is a game that everyone who watched this, everyone who participated, is going to remember for years to come.
And for a lot of different reasons, not only the scoreboard and how this game was played, but for the fact that history put us on a Tuesday after 51 years of championship games on Saturday and Friday. All of a sudden, we have the snowstorm. The whole scenario has been unique. And actually, for both of these teams to break up their normal routines and come here on a Tuesday and play a game like they did tonight is absolutely amazing. A tribute to both the players and the coaches for what the show that they put on today after having a breakup of the possibility of not playing for the state championship.
And now we see Bob McMillan and company being awarded that state championship trophy in Class 5A. Congratulations to the St. Francis Spartans. So the Spartans take home the 5A title. We're just getting started here.
It's unbelievable. What a way to start.
We've got a doubleheader for you here. Coming up next in 6A, it's Fenwick. It's East St. Louis. Could it be a tale as old as time, one of David versus Goliath? We know this one was tight all the way through. We'll see what the Friars and the Flyers have in store next with the 6A state title game. But what a joy this one was to watch. 39-35, the final. St. Francis walks away a state champion in 5A.
A month